Hello, hello. Welcome to June. Welcome to tapping. Um, Welcome and welcome back. I'm just plugging in my computer. It's probably fine, but I don't want to do it in the middle of tapping. So I'll do it now. If this is your first time, I'm so glad that you're here. If you're back, welcome back. I will go through an explanation of how we do the tapping here in just a moment. First, I do want to just give you a bit of news. So it's summertime where I live, and I'm going on a vacation with my family, but I'm still doing the Tapping Tuesdays. It's not being a workaholic, it's being true to myself because, just letting go, get away from everything. That's just not me. I'm a connective person. I'll be thinking about you anyway. And it's an hour, 1 hour a week. I can do that. Um, but I'm just not sure how like the internet's gonna work and all of that. It should be fine. There should be no issues. And I will put a note on the channel as well, just to set a reminder for those who come but don't maybe see this video. But I plan to be here just in a different location and maybe have a really cool background. I don't know. We'll see. As far as what we're doing today, we do EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. It is also known as tapping. It is an overwhelm release tool. We use it mostly proactively here, meaning we address things that aren't necessarily like overwhelming right in this very moment. But though we definitely can, um, which means we're more addressing like a past trauma type situation. It sounds really intense, but it's actually really simple and easy to do and to go through. What I like most about it is you are empowered with it, you are in control. I will guide you, I will lead you. I do this by taking the suggestions of whatever's on your mind. You can contribute to that if you would like by putting it in the chat. If you don't want to, that's okay. I will show you how you can still get what you're looking for in terms of a release or in gaining something, even without telling me specifically what's on your mind. It's a really incredible technique, and I'm really glad that you're here to do it with me here today. I did put my email in the chat. If you have questions, if you ask a question, I don't see it, I'm so sorry. I watch the chat as well as I can, and it's never like overwhelmed. It's more like I have trouble focusing, looking at the chat, and sometimes I just miss things. But always feel free to email me any questions, or if you have something you want to tap on, but you don't want to post it and like have your name with it with everybody to see. I understand some things feel more private. And then I'll just address it anonymously. I do have two emails of input that I will read in just a second, and we'll incorporate those into what we do here today. Now, I will say hi real fast. Hi, Richard. You're so kind. I actually have modeled before. I don't currently. This is just how I express my joy. I've just always been a very flamboyant type person. And now that I'm an adult with my own money, I buy myself a lot of flamboyancy to have fun with. Hi, Snea. Okay, the need to take on everyone's problems and issues, especially my loved ones. Absolutely, we will. We can address that. Hi, Mama Hutch. Just got back from New England. Wonderful. Oh, thank you. Okay. Um, let's see. Let's go ahead and get grounded first. And then we'll get into, I'll read the emails that I've gotten and we'll decide what we're going to tap on first. Okay. So I just want to be in this present moment. So typically, you may be listening to me right now. You may be ready to tap, but maybe your mind is also focused on other things. So we're just going to pull that back in right now. So go ahead and take a deep breath and let it out. And really let your body relax when you let your air out. Let's do another breath. And now we're just going to pay attention to different areas of our body. You don't have to touch them, you don't have to look at them. This is just a way of getting all of our attention back to this present moment. So I want you to think about, where in space is the tip of your nose? Where is the tip of your nose? And how about, where is the back of your neck? Where is that right now? And how about the fronts of your shoulders? Where are the fronts of your shoulders? And how about your elbows? Where are they? And your fingertips? How about your knees? Where are your knees right now? What about the bottoms of your feet? And finally, the tips of your toes. And let's take one more breath. Okay, now go ahead and situate your body to wherever you're comfortable. If you need to sit back up, if you need to wiggle a little bit, I'm going to just quickly set an intention for us together. You can join me in that if you'd like. It's my intention that as we tap together during this time, that even though we are all across the world having different experiences as different people, that we are here together for the same purpose, for the same reason, and that is to feel better. And that there is strength in us creating the community that we do when we come together. And you being here matters. And it matters to me personally. And you bring value and strength to our community as we're here together today, even if you don't comment at all. It still matters that you're here. And it is my intention that as we tap, you receive what it is that you came here for, whether it is to let go of something or to receive something, that when you leave the end of this hour, that you feel good. Okay, let's do one more breath. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a moment to read the emails. And as I do that, if you want to go ahead and put something in the chat, please feel free. So, just to let you know what these community members said, one said that they feel a desperate loneliness and hopelessness from childhood. And then anger and depression come in to protect them from to help them to not feel that powerlessness. And I really appreciate the way this is spoken because this is a really common thing to have happen. And sometimes we don't even realize it's happening. We feel angry over something. And then later on, we realize, oh, that was grief or that was hurt, that was sadness. Um, so I don't think we've ever tapped on it from this angle before of having anger and depression come in to protect from the loneliness and the hopelessness. So um, that is something that I definitely want to tap on today. And then the second one is I was raised to only trust people who believed the same as me, and everyone else was a threat. I no longer believe that, but how do I unlock that from from my unconsciousness? And I really appreciate this as well because if you know anything about early childhood development, and even if you don't, I'll tell you this tidbit. Um, our subconscious brain is so much more suggestive when we're younger, and there's a really good reason for that. It's because that's how we learn our culture, our environment. If we had to parse each thing of, oh, this is how we treat a stranger, this is how we treat this aunt, this is how we treat mom and dad, this is how we behave at the grocery store, that would be a lot to pay individual attention to. But if our subconscious can just absorb all of this and kind of categorize behavior in early childhood, that allows us to integrate so much easier. So that is the theory on that's why our brains work that way and develop that way. But that also does mean that whatever the beliefs are of our environment become what we stem from, and we can absolutely change them. But then how do we access them? So, empowerment for that is something that I would love to tap on today. And we'll see how we add that in. Hello, Carrie. Hi, Barb. Mystic singing plumber comedian. It's good to have you here. Thank you. I like to rock color. Okay. So, taking on everyone's problems and Childhood things. Sneha, I want to start with yours, and then we will roll into other things. So, taking on things that don't belong to you. That's we could definitely make that a broad subject, and then you can hone it into whatever that looks like for you. And this is something that can have a lot of reaction attached to it. You may feel an offense, to this subject or hopelessness attached to it. Like, I don't know how to change it, or how dare you suggest I change it, or how dare you suggest it's mine to change. Um, this area can feel really intense. So just be aware of that. And you may go through multiple emotions, and they're not bad. It's a good acknowledgement of your own expression. So, needing to take care of others' problems and issues. This could look like someone is literally handing you something and they are expecting you to externally navigate that for them. It could look like you're a people pleaser and that's your safe place. It could look like, you have a pride in that, maybe it's even part of your job. Maybe it's something you do as a profession and you just don't know how to turn it off. It could be your protective mechanism. It's how you control how much interaction you have with people, and you actually use it to dissociate. Because if you're always solving someone else's problem, well, they never really know anything about yours, right? But you still get to feel good because you're interacting and you're sharing emotion, even though it may not be 100% yours. So just keep that in mind. If something plugged into you on that, then maybe select that to tap on. I'm going to use, even though I take on things that are not mine. Um, so adjust that phrasing to whatever works for you and what you're thinking about. If you have multiple issues that fit into this box, choose one to tap on. Because if you unlock one completely, that's a much larger signal to your brain than kind of nitpicking at several. Okay, so let's go ahead and start tapping here. Even though right now I take on things that aren't mine, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I am carrying things that I acknowledge are not mine to carry, I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though right now I'm holding things for others that I no longer want to hold, but I'm not sure how to put it down yet, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Accepting myself. Accepting myself while I hold on to things for others. Accepting myself while I sacrifice myself. Accepting myself even though I may put myself last. Accepting myself even though I make choices that don't feel good. My choices. My choices regarding others. Taking on issues. Taking on what isn't mine. I wonder, why do I do that? Why would that be something that I decided to do? Is there someone in my life that made me feel like I had to? That if I didn't, there would be consequences that are not good. Maybe I'm just really good at it and people trust me, and that feels good. And I don't want to lose that. Whether or not I have chosen this because I didn't know I had another choice, or because I felt like there were good things about it. I'm open to finding another way of seeing it where I can win too, where it can be a good thing for me too, a good thing for me. Taking on things from other people, bad for me. Taking on things from other people, good for me. I wonder if I didn't change anything else except finding a way for it to be good for me as well, what would that look like? What would it look like if these experiences energized me, nurtured me, fed me in some way? How would I create a space for that? I wonder, could that be a boundary for me? No. Mm-mm. Nope, I don't believe in boundaries. Boundaries are for harsh people. Boundaries are for people who are careless, who are calloused, who leave other people wounded when they could have helped. Boundaries are selfish. Boundaries are mean. Even if some of these things feel true to at least some part of me, I deeply and completely accept myself. I accept that boundaries have been complicated in my life, and that's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay that I recognize it. It's okay that I accept where I am now. It's okay that this is my starting point with where I'm working on it. I don't have any place else to start. So it's okay that this is where I am. And maybe I wasn't taught to have good boundaries. Maybe I was even taught bad boundaries. Maybe I wasn't taught how to create positive spaces for myself outside of what I get from creating them for other people. Even if all of that is true, I could start now. Even if I still don't have a clue how, I can learn. I learn new things all the time. But am I ready? Maybe even asking if I'm ready is a bit of a sign that at least some part of me is ready. But then what does that look like? Boundaries is a big, vague, obtuse conversation. And where do I start? What place would have the most impact for me to start? What if I simply included myself? As I am approached by whoever, and I engage in problem solving, I include myself. Well, how do I do that? I'm not part of the problem. Okay, I don't have to be part of the problem, but maybe I consider myself as I consider the solution. Maybe I see myself as like another person beside me and I want to accommodate them as well. I'm accommodating the that me. And if someone comes to me and asks for a lot of my time, I consider this version of me beside me. And I go, well, that's going to take a lot of time away from this person. And I won't even get to talk to them till like 2 a.m. or they won't even get to go to sleep. Is that okay? They'll have to skip lunch. Is that okay? Is it okay that I ask that of them? Because maybe it's hard for me to apply it to me. But if I consider myself as I would another person, it's okay for me to begin that way. It's not okay for me to begin that way. That's weird. And it's still hard. And I have a lot of expectations on me from other people. And I don't think this is going to work. And this is just really uncomfortable. And ew. Even if I am feeling some of that pushback, I deeply and completely accept myself. I acknowledge that it's uncomfortable to set boundaries, really uncomfortable for many reasons. And my body, my mind have good reasons to speak up. And it's okay if there are other things that get to be heard as I move along in this process. But it's also okay for me to start to adapt now. I can give myself permission to put one consideration, one boundary in place and make that steadfast. And it might be uncomfortable, but maybe it will also work. And maybe it will become comfortable. And maybe it will become empowering. Maybe it's okay to give it a try. I can always change it if I don't like it. I can always try something else. So as I begin to consider myself along with everyone else, I give myself permission to speak up, even if I am the only one hearing it. Even if at first it feels more stressful than it does empowering or relieving. I could choose to not. I could choose to wait. Maybe someone else will speak up for me. It could happen. Or I could give this a try. And as I consider what I'm ready for, I bet I can come up with a really good first step for me. First step for me. And as I allow this integration of this first step and boundary, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, take a deep breath. Yeah, sometimes solutions at the beginning just feel like another problem. It's true because it's uncomfortable, because it's a switch. And a good way to ask yourself, is this uncomfortable because it's not good or uncomfortable because it's change, but something that is good, is to think about, would you give this advice to another person? Would you offer it as a solution to someone else? Because so often we're willing to hurt ourselves to keep peace outward, but we would never suggest that anybody do what we do. um, I hope that helps. Okay, and let's see. I know there were more comments. Hi, Roma. Okay, Violet, chronic migraines. Sahara, not to be stuck in perfect and procrastination. Okay, so frozen boundaries. Hi, Dr. Scott. Are critical for survival. I was taught to not have any. Bad boundaries. Yep. My t-shirt does say empower. And the one under it, you can't see it, but my tank top says, I deeply and completely accept myself. I mean it. So I've got lots of happy vibes today. Yeah. Who do you have to disappoint in order to take care of yourself? That can be a powerful statement. That can also feel very unsafe, because if it is your safe place to make everyone happy, then the thought of disappointing someone, mm, like you're out, like you will not stand up for yourself. Um, the way I like to phrase it is asking, is it safe to take care of myself? And if the answer is no, then saying, it's okay. Of course, it's not safe. We haven't been taught that it's safe. But I wonder, where did I learn it wasn't safe? So that there is validation, there's acceptance, and it's not a win lose situation. Okay, I'm going to refresh myself of the emails. Okay, so the two from the email are kind of both childhood related. I'm going to do, yeah, I'm going to do childhood stuff first, and then we'll go to like a physical body um, for Violet and anyone else who's having some body issues today. Um, okay, so just a reminder, desperate loneliness and hopelessness from childhood with anger and depression, like protecting, and raised to only trust people who believe the same as them. And they don't want to believe that anymore, but it's kind of an unconscious trigger. Um, I'm going to lean more towards wording for the first one, but it's just going to be childhood stuff. I'm going to say, even though I have a lot of emotions from my childhood that I don't want. So How you can relate this to yourself if you don't directly relate with either of these is, I mean, childhood. There's a lot there, right? Anything that you were taught to believe that you no longer believe, and it could be something that's pretty universally accepted now, like spanking isn't something that really happens a lot anymore. It could be something where you were wronged, like, gosh, my dad never believed me. He always believed my sister or brother or dog more than he believed me. It could be, I was so painfully shy, and that was so I was always so, um, just caged, wanting to let that go. It doesn't have to be connected to a specific instance where something happened, but a way that you felt. So, maybe you were shy and that was okay, but you hated that you were shy. That's enough that you could tap on that to alleviate yourself from that. Um, so let's go ahead and just hop in and jump into this mess. Even though I have a lot of emotions from childhood that I don't want to hold on to, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I've got a lot that I'm holding on to from my childhood that still hurts me, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I'm still so overcome with negative emotions from my childhood. That was a long time ago, and I'm open to releasing it. My childhood, pain from my childhood, negative emotion from my childhood, experiences, experiences still alive in me, experiences I don't know how to get away from. Even though right now I don't know how to let this go, I deeply and completely accept myself. I acknowledge all of the things that I felt. I acknowledge that I had pain so deeply and so big that I protected myself with other emotions to try to feel better, that I protected myself with anger so that I didn't feel hopeless. I protected myself with depression and dissociating so that I didn't feel so lonely. It's okay that I did what I did to survive. And I acknowledge myself in being able to find something to get to where I am today because I did it. And I didn't have a lot to work with. I wasn't handed the tools that I have now by someone. And maybe I even had people who were making my life worse. So it wasn't just that I didn't have tools. I had experiences that were actively burying me emotionally. And that is sad. And that is hurtful. And that does feel hopeless. And that does feel lonely. And it is okay that I felt that. That was my experience. And of course, that hurt. And of course, I have emotions connected to that. And I may have a lot of experiences, a lot of memories tied to various people that spur on this burden. And I don't want it anymore. I don't want this childhood anymore. But it was my childhood. So what can I do about that? How do I release something that was my experience? Releasing. Letting go. Finding a way. I wonder, was there a time, or many times, as I was experiencing this in my childhood, where I believed this was my life, this was going to be my whole life, this was all my life would ever be? I wonder, was there a time in my life where someone told me this was all I would ever be and all I would ever have? Even though consciously I know that's not true because I look around me and that's not my life anymore. Maybe it still feels true. I wonder, where, where does it still feel true? Where in me, where in my body, where in my mind, where in my memories is this truth still living? Because the truth is, it was a very long time ago. And that has not been my life for a very long time. And I have been accepting the punishment of being stuck there. Yeah, that's okay. Right? No, no, I don't have to be there. And maybe that doesn't make any sense at all for that to still be alive for me. I'm not a child anymore. If I behaved like a child, people would think I was crazy. If I talked like I did when I was having those experiences, if I dressed like I did when I had those experiences, it's just not who I am anymore, except in these places that I'm still carrying it. So I wonder, why? Why am I still carrying it? Why am I holding this belief or emotion, this feeling, this sensation? And for whatever reason that I'm holding it, is it possible for me to let it go? Is it possible for me to upgrade it? Yes. Yes, it is possible. And I can say this because I've already done it. Maybe not 100%, but I'm not in the same place that I was as a child. I have made things different. So, yes, I can. I can let go of this too. Permission. Permission to release. Permission to withdraw the energy that keeps these past emotions and memories going. But that poor little child, that's all they ever got. And now I'm going to abandon them too. If I feel this way, it's okay. I deeply and completely accept myself. And how beautiful that I don't want to abandon that child. I wonder, can I bring that child to me? That's the only thing that I want to be connected to. If that's the only reason all of these past things have any energy from me, I'll just bring that child to me, and then everything else can fade away. And I can have this child with me as I go to the grocery store and maybe we buy ice cream. And I can have this child with me as I listen to the radio and maybe we sing a silly song or sing a song in a silly way. Or maybe I just feel really safe and comfortable knowing that even though nobody else gave this child a different space to be, I'm in a place now where I can and I will. And that's the only thing that matters. So it really is okay for everything else to go. And maybe I still have specifics that I go back and tap on, and that's okay. This doesn't have to be one single swing of a door and final, never talk about it again. No, I have more control over it than that. But this is my boundary where I am gathering up everything that matters to me from those times and leaving what doesn't and letting it be in the past. Emotions from my childhood, beliefs from my childhood, in the past, the child with me, my space, my reality, my present, my choice. Permission to leave the past, leaving. And as I continue to unhook my present energy from my past, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, let's take a breath. I'm going to pause for just a moment and give you just a few seconds to reintegrate. A lot of times when we do past past stuff is um, deep. Okay, I'm going to check the chat. Just reading through your comments right now. I'm so glad you guys talk with each other. It makes me so happy to see the way you support and give love to each other. I really appreciate that. Yeah, your inner child says, "Yay!" I'm so glad. Okay, so let's do a physical body tapping. So, hi, Richard. Um, if you are experiencing something right now that you'd rather not be, that's something that you could focus on if you're feeling really good and there's nothing in particular that is standing out to you that you want to release. Um, then you could focus on something that you wouldn't mind gaining. And maybe there's something specific that you have in mind, better sleep, less allergies, uh, just better immune system, better metabolism. It doesn't have to be something concrete, like, well, muscles or bones. It can be a metabolic process, just better digestion in my stomach, up to you. Okay. Since we were asked to tap on chronic migraines, I am going to take this in a curious direction. Uh, so, migraines are a bit of uh, a place where I have some expertise in, speaking on being a massage therapist as well as EFT practitioner. So, there are many, many reasons why the body can choose pain. Um, and pain to the central nervous system is a protection. It's a way of protecting you. You put your hand on something that's painful, you go away from it, right? You withdraw from it. You have pain in your knee, you don't use that knee, because inflammation and whatnot. You block the pain, you still have the inflammation, you still have the energy, injury. Um, so it is a way to deter you from something. And migraines are a beast, and I suffered with them for 17 years. So I am in no way being dismissive. So please don't feel that from me. I'm not saying, well, it's all in your head. It's just emotional. That is not at all what I'm saying. Okay. Um, What I am saying is that they are complex and multi-layered, and oftentimes in ways that we don't initially think of. And there's definitely truth to that in any body pain. So, okay, now with that spiel, um, focus in on what it is on your body. I am going to use the phrasing, this pain in my body. I'll just go really broad with it, but I want you to be specific. So if yours is migraines, this migraine in my body, this shoulder pain in my body, this slow metabolism in my body, whatever it is that you're addressing. Okay, I'll start tapping. As I focus in on this pain in my body, I deeply and completely accept myself, even though I have emotions about this pain in my body and I'm not happy about it. And I don't accept where I am with this. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I feel a lot of things about this pain in my body, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. What does that even mean? What am I accepting if I don't accept the space that I'm in? If I don't accept that it's okay for me to be in pain, what does it mean that I'm saying I deeply and completely accept myself? Maybe it means I'm acknowledging myself and I'm acknowledging that it's not perfect. My body is not perfect. My situation is not perfect. It's not how I want it to be at all. But even though it's not how I want it to be, I'm here to support myself. I am choosing to be present and look for solutions. I am choosing to listen to my own voice. I am choosing to be open and curious about other possible solutions that maybe I haven't thought of. Even if I'm tired, even if I'm rubbed raw with trying and failing, even if I'm pessimistic and bitter, I'm still here and I'm still trying. And that's what I mean when I say I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. I acknowledge I'm still here. But this pain in my body, why is it here? This pain, this pain in my body. I wonder, what is it that I believe is true about this pain? What is it that I have been told that must be true that feels like an absolute truth? I'm predispositioned to this pain. It's my age. It's my weight. It's my lifestyle. It's my emotional baggage. It's my protection mechanism. Even though I may have been handed a lot of reasons from very smart people about why this pain is here, it's still here. And if I did know exactly why, would that make me satisfied? No. It's going to make me satisfied is it going away. So do I need to know why it's here? Whether or not I need to know why my body is in pain, I deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder if the body uses pain as a signal of protection. Do I need to be protected right now? Is this pain here to protect me? Well, how do I know? Is it safe for me to release this pain? Is it safe for me to not have this? Whether or not I feel I am safe without the pain, I deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder what would happen if I talked to my pain. I've been seeing my pain as a nuisance, an unwelcome entity or consideration in my life, as something that's here to do me harm, something that's getting in my way. But I wonder if I addressed it as something that has a message for me, something that's trying to tell me something, what would it have to say? Message from my pain. I'm going to tap in a different spot. We're going off book here. It's right along the sternum. You don't have to tap here. I just felt it. I wanted to do it. Message from my pain. Hi, pain. Why are you here? What is it that you're protecting me from? Can we communicate from a different space? Is it okay as long as I acknowledge you when I start to feel you? Is it okay for you to connect with me through wisdom, through enlightenment, through self compassion, through self consideration, rather than pain? I'm sorry if I didn't listen to you before now and you tried those things. I am trying to hear you now. And I am willing to collaborate with you from a different place to make it easier on this body to receive the message. Collaborating with my pain. Receiving the messages in a different way. Alleviating my body while looking for understanding in the message. Permission to release. Permission to connect. Releasing the pain. Connecting to the message. Doing my part to collaborate. Learning to trust. Releasing the pain. Releasing this pain. And as I continue to figure out how to listen from a different space than pain, I give myself permission to release all of the pain as I figure out what else needs to be resolved. And I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, and take a deep breath. Well, that went by fast. I still want to talk with you. There's so much more. Oh, thank you for being here with me today. Um, I will be thinking about you. If you have questions, if there are things that you want to email me, um, so we've been doing this series in self-betrayal, self-abandonment. The last video of that series does go live this Friday. I've gotten some really great suggestions for videos. Please keep them coming. I do love to have them, and they are helpful to others. They do reach people that don't come to this live. So don't feel like you're imposing if there's something that would genuinely help you to have a video on. I promise you there are other people that would benefit from it too. Have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Mwah. Take care.